If a woman doesn't want you, she's going to show it. It just won't always be in the way you expect. A lot of men miss the signs, not because they're clueless, but because they don't want to believe what's right in front of them. The truth is, when someone's not interested, they don't always come out and say it directly. Most of the time, it's in the small things. The way she texts, how she talks to you, or the energy she gives off when you're around. Welcome to Man of Substance. If you've ever felt like you're chasing a woman who's slipping further away, or you've been confused by mixed signals, this one's for you. We're going to talk about what it actually looks like when a woman just isn't feeling it anymore. Or maybe never was. This isn't about bashing women or playing games. It's about clarity. Because when a woman doesn't want you, she usually won't tell you straight up, but her actions will. And once you learn to read those signals without second-guessing yourself, it saves you time, energy, and frustration. You stop trying to force something that was never going to work, and instead, you keep your self-respect intact. We're not talking about moments where she's just busy or distracted. This is about consistent patterns. Things she does that silently say, "I'm not into you like that." Once you learn to recognize these signs, you'll stop chasing what's not meant for you, and you'll start investing your time where it actually matters. So in this video, I'm breaking down 5 clear signs that a woman doesn't want you. These aren't vague ideas. They're patterns of behavior that you'll start noticing once you know what to look for. Let's get into it. 1. She keeps you around but doesn't choose you. There's a big difference between a woman liking your company and actually wanting to be with you. A lot of men get stuck in this middle zone where they're present in her life, but never really invited in. You text often, maybe even hang out sometimes, but there's no forward motion. Nothing progresses. You stay in the same spot while she keeps you close enough not to lose you, but far enough not to commit. What usually happens is you start convincing yourself that you're just taking things slow, or that she's not ready for something serious. But deep down, you can feel something's off. You show interest, you stay available, you try to be consistent, and in return, she gives you crumbs. A dry text here and there, maybe a quick call, maybe even a late night hey once in a while. But it's never solid. It's never clear. And that's the point. This is the kind of situation where you're emotionally invested, but she's emotionally casual. You're thinking about how to move things forward, while she's thinking about how to keep things where they are without having to fully let you go. It's not that she's playing some evil game. It's just that she doesn't feel strongly enough about you to commit, but she doesn't want to close the door either. Why? Because having you around gives her attention, validation, and a safety net. It costs her nothing and gives her just enough. Picture this. You've been texting her every day for a few weeks. You've asked her to hang out a few times. She says she's busy, but never offers another day. Then one Friday night, she calls you out of nowhere because her plans fell through. You spend the night talking, maybe even hanging out. The next day, silence again. That's not a relationship building. It's emotional convenience. And the longer you stay in that space, the harder it is to walk away. You start hoping that maybe one day she'll come around. But people don't come around when they already know what they feel. If she wanted to move forward with you, she would. If she saw you as someone she genuinely wanted, you wouldn't have to keep trying to prove yourself. You wouldn't be sitting in this blurry zone, wondering where you stand. If you find yourself being kept around without real progress, no commitment, no intimacy, no clear interest, it's not an accident. It's a choice. She may not be saying it out loud, but the message is clear. You're not the one she's choosing. She's just not ready to let you go completely. 2. Her energy drops the moment you show interest. One of the clearest signs that a woman doesn't want you is how quickly her vibe changes when you start showing real interest. In the beginning, she might be playful, curious, and even flirty. She replies fast, throws in emojis, starts conversations, and then, out of nowhere, her energy drops. What changed? You started making your intentions known. Some men think this sudden shift means they did something wrong. Maybe they texted too much. Maybe they complimented her too early. But most of the time, the issue isn't how you said it. It's that she was never that into you to begin with. She liked the attention, the back and forth, the fun of the early interaction. But the moment things became real, her interest disappeared. This happens a lot when a woman enjoys being admired, but doesn't actually want anything deeper with you. So when you finally express interest, either by making a move, asking her out, or even just showing consistency, her energy takes a dive. Replies get slower. Her tone gets colder. She stops putting in effort. It's confusing because it feels like she led you on, and maybe she did. But more often than not, She was just entertaining the attention without thinking too far ahead. She wasn't planning to take it anywhere, and the moment it got serious, it became uncomfortable for her. Not because you did anything wrong, but because she didn't want it to go there. You'll notice this pattern if you pay attention. A woman who's into you won't get weird when you show interest. She won't pull back when you open up a little. In fact, she'll usually match your energy or even increase hers. But if her interest was surface level, your effort makes her realize, I don't want this guy to think I'm serious. So she starts backing away. The mistake a lot of guys make here is doubling down. They think, she was into me before, so maybe I just need to remind her. So they start trying harder. Longer texts, more compliments, more invites. But it doesn't fix anything. It just makes the gap more obvious. When her energy drops after you show interest, take that for what it is. It's a signal that she was only halfway in, and now that it's real, she's out. And that's okay. You don't need to fight for someone who isn't excited to meet you halfway. Let her pull back, and don't chase. 3. She makes you work for bare minimum attention. When a woman genuinely likes you, attention isn't something you have to earn. It flows naturally. You don't need to keep proving yourself just to get a reply, a smile, or a simple conversation. But when she doesn't really want you, even the smallest bit of attention feels like a reward you have to chase. And that's a problem. You find yourself doing most of the work. You're the one starting every conversation. You're always the one asking questions, keeping the chat going, trying to make plans. And what do you get in return? One-word answers, delayed replies, maybe a few dry laughs or emojis if you're lucky, but never real effort, never a genuine back and forth. It's not that she's too busy. People make time for who they actually care about. If she wanted to talk to you, you wouldn't be stuck trying to drag energy out of her. She wouldn't be constantly distracted, always saying maybe when you ask her to hang out, or acting like replying to a message is a chore. You wouldn't be guessing whether or not she even wants to hear from you. You'd know, because her actions would make it obvious. What's really going on here is simple. She's not that interested, but she's not cutting things off either. So she throws out just enough attention to keep you around, but not enough to build anything real. And because you want it to work, you start doing more. You tell yourself she's just not great at texting, or she's probably just busy, or she'll come around. But deep down, you feel the imbalance. This dynamic drains your energy. You put in effort, get nothing real back, and then start questioning yourself. You think maybe you're doing something wrong, when the truth is, she's just not meeting you where you are. And here's the part that matters. Attention should never feel like something you have to earn from someone who claims to be interested. Respect, effort, and consistency should come naturally when someone values you. If you have to chase scraps, it's not because she's hard to get. It's because she's not trying to give. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of winning her over, but this isn't a prize to win. If you have to work hard just to get basic communication or common courtesy, she's not in it, and it's not your job to convince her. You're not supposed to beg for connection. You're supposed to meet someone who wants it just as much as you do, and shows it without making you feel like you're bothering them. 4. She's hot and cold, and it's not by accident. One day she's texting you like crazy, laughing at everything you say, and being super responsive. The next day, she's cold, distant, barely replies, or disappears altogether. Then, just as you start to back off, she comes back again, acting like everything's normal. This back and forth doesn't just confuse you, it keeps you stuck. And that's the point. When a woman really wants you, her behavior is steady. You don't have to guess how she feels. But when she's unsure, uninterested, or just keeping you around for her own reasons, her behavior becomes inconsistent. That hot and cold pattern isn't random. It's how she keeps control of the situation without having to fully commit. The hot days make you think there's still hope. You tell yourself, she wouldn't be acting like this if she didn't care. But then the cold days hit, and you're stuck trying to figure out what changed. So what do? You chase, you try harder, you text more, you make excuses for her behavior because you're focused on the moments when she showed interest. The thing is, if someone's feelings are real, they don't turn on and off like a switch. They stay consistent. They might have off days, everyone does, but they won't treat you like a favorite one day and a stranger the next. That pattern isn't emotional confusion, it's emotional control. Being hot and cold keeps you invested. It keeps you wondering what you did wrong, what you can fix, or how to get back to those good days. And while you're focused on that, she never has to fully show up. She gets attention without giving clarity. She gets effort from you without putting anything real on the table. This is especially common when a woman likes the idea of your interest more than she likes the idea of actually being with you. She enjoys the validation, the comfort, or the emotional boost. But when it starts to feel real, she pulls away. Then when you start to move on, she comes back just enough to keep you from leaving. That kind of push-pull interaction drains you. It keeps your mind spinning and your confidence low. You start tying your mood to whether or not she responds, instead of asking why you're even chasing someone who isn't meeting you halfway. Real interest doesn't play games. It doesn't come and go. If she's hot and cold, it's not because she's confused, it's because she's not all in. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop giving energy to someone who can't offer anything solid in return. 5. You're always the backup plan, never the first choice. One of the hardest pills to swallow is realizing you're not her priority. You're just her fallback. You're not the guy she clears her schedule for. You're the one she texts when she's bored, lonely, or when her other plans fall through. You're not in the front of her mind. You're somewhere in the background, always available, but never truly chosen. A woman who really wants you will make space for you. She'll show interest, make plans, and treat your time like it matters. But when she doesn't see you that way, she won't go out of her way for you. She might still keep you around though. Why? Because it's convenient. Because she knows you'll say yes when she needs something, whether it's attention, support, or someone to fill the gap between the people she's actually chasing. Here's how it usually plays out. You ask her to hang out on a Saturday. She says she's not sure yet, might have plans. Saturday comes and goes, no word. Then suddenly, late Sunday night, she texts, "Hey, what are you up to?" That's not someone who values your time. That's someone who went through her options, and when none of them worked out, circled back to you. And if you're always available in that situation, it becomes a pattern. You keep showing up, thinking maybe next time it'll be different. Maybe she'll finally see your value. But people don't suddenly wake up and appreciate what they've always taken for granted. If she truly saw you as a first choice, you wouldn't be waiting around for her leftovers. You'd already be part of her plans. This doesn't mean she's being intentionally cruel. Sometimes people don't even realize they're treating others like a safety net. But regardless of the reason, the outcome's the same. You're giving more than you're getting, and she's not meeting you halfway. Being a backup slowly chips away at your confidence. It makes you question your worth, because deep down you feel you're being overlooked. But you keep hoping for a moment when that changes. That hope keeps you stuck in place. If her energy only shows up when she has nothing better going on, that's not interest. That's convenience. And if you're honest with yourself, you probably already know the difference. You deserve to be someone's clear decision, not their last-minute option. If she only reaches out when it suits her, if she never initiates plans or prioritizes your time, it's time to stop hoping she'll come around. You're not meant to play the backup role in your own life.